Hi everyone, my name's Linda and I'm a Pilates teacher here at Live Well Health Centre, and I'm here with Karolina, and we're going to be going through a third trimester pregnancy workout. So Karolina is now 34 weeks pregnant. Yeah, so we're just going to go through some movements that you can easily do at home, just with some equipment that you should be able to find around the house. So we're going to use a weight, a hand weight. If you don't have any hand weights, you can use just a can from your pantry, so a can of beans or a can of soup, or just fill up a water bottle. A spiky ball, just to do some massaging. If you don't have a spiky ball, you can use a tennis ball or any other sort of soft ball you might have in your house, and a fit ball to sit on, and a chair we'll be using at some stage today. So let's get started. Alright, so we're just going to start you sitting on the fit ball. And we're just going to get some mobility through the pelvis. Now, especially at this late stage of pregnancy, the ligaments are all quite relaxed with the relaxing. So we just want to make sure that they stay supple and also mobile. So we're just going to start with some pelvic clocks. So to do this, you're just going to sit in the middle of the ball, and you're just going to be rolling the pelvis away from you. So it's almost like the back of your pelvis wants to roll forwards, and then you're going to roll the pelvis backwards. So you're going to roll forwards like you're tucking your pelvis under you, and then you're going to go backwards like you're trying to stick your bottom behind you.
Go on my side, okay?
Yeah, good idea. See both angles of that one. So we're just going to have that rolling motion going forward and then back. Beautiful. So if you want to incorporate some breath, you can breathe in to let the pelvis go behind you, and then exhale to draw the pelvis towards you.
Yeah, with these ones, it's really important to drive from your pelvis and not your legs. So if you're feeling like you're moving too much, or if you're creating bigger shapes than what I'm doing here, you're probably using your leg muscles rather than your pelvic muscles. So we're probably defeating the point. So just nice and smooth movements, really small, just engaging those pelvic muscles.
Yeah, using that lower tummy too to get that movement happening. Yeah, so now we're also going to incorporate some side movements as well. So you might want to face the front now for this one. So we're just going to get Karolina just to move her pelvis from side to side. Again, not using the legs to get the movement happening, just trying to get that movement just nice and gently.
So it almost feels like I'm lifting one sit bone, I'm dropping it down, lifting the other, dropping it down. But the ball's certainly not moving like crazy.
That's it. And if this causes any pain or any tension anywhere, just avoid, skip any exercises that you sort of feel like it's a little bit uncomfortable, and we can you can maybe go have that checked out later. So from here you can also add a few rotations, so maybe going around in a circle. So letting your sit bones go behind you, circling around and then forwards. And a couple of those, and then you can do those going back the other way.
Oh, this is a ball, not me.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right, and so then also while you're here, you can get into, this is a nice position to sit, nice ball to sit on. It's a nice height to sit on it. Your legs are nice and your thigh bones are parallel to the floor. You're not sitting too high. So from here, we can also get into some rolls and some stretches through our shoulders. So just rolling the shoulders forward and back, maybe just 5 or 6 ways each time. Really reaching nice and high up towards the ears, and then the other way. And you can now also do some neck rotations. So just going to turn your head to the side with a nice stretch, and then you're going to slowly look over to the other side. And we'll just do a few of those. You even have that feeling that when you're looking to one side, that the opposite shoulder is just pulling back just ever so slightly, just to sort of really get a nice deeper stretch. Back to the middle, and one more each way.
Thank you.
That's it. And now we can go into some neck rolls. So we're just going to roll our head forward, looking over to the side. Looking at you.
Okay, sorry.
That's all right. Just gently doing some rolls. Your muscles and your joints are getting a little bit stiff now.
No, not you.
Yeah, it's so important, especially the trimester, where we're getting bodies ready for breastfeeding and nursing, that we really look after the neck.
Yes.
Function 9.
Beautiful. Alright, so now also when you're sitting on here, so you can also do this sitting on a chair or you can stay on your ball. So we're just going to plop the foot on top of the massage ball and you're just going to roll forward and back over that ball. So you can do this also standing, but sitting you can get a little bit of pressure in there without feeling like you're going to fall.
That's good.
So what you can also do is just follow just going back and forth, or you can follow the lines of the bones of the foot. You can even claw the toes over the top and then arch the whole foot over the top of the ball, just to really get nice and deep into those muscles. All feels very beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
When you're 34 weeks pregnant,
Yeah,
I imagine.
definitely.
Oh, you stupid thing.
And we'll go on to the other foot.
Thank you.
If you have two balls, no, I wouldn't recommend two balls at once.
Probably be a little bit. It's also often good to do this next to a wall or something like that, just for extra balance.
Yeah. Before bed, ideal if you've gotten home from work or a long walk, really nice to roll them out.
Yeah, plantar fasciitis is one of those really common conditions in pregnancy. Just as all those ligaments start to loosen the ligaments of the pelvis, they also loosen the ligaments of your feet and can cause pain and a lot of unnecessary, heartache. Yeah, so good to do.
Alright, so now we're going to stay on the ball and we're going to do a few sitting cat exercises, just some really nice back stretches. So if you can get yourself a chair, even like a dining chair with a higher back's fine. And you just want to be able to reach, put your hands on the back of the chair, make sure it's sturdy. And you're just going to be first reaching back, so sort of that pelvic motion where you're rolling back, getting that nice stretch through the upper back, arms are reaching forward. That's it. And now we're going to roll the pelvis forward.
You haven't got your manual for it.
Oh, sorry, no, we're going to get one. No, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah.
With the swan stretch first, so reaching up. Yeah, beautiful. So the chest is coming forward. That's it. And then you're going to rolling back. So the chest is going to lower. And then you're going to come up and you're going to now the chest is going to come forward. So arms are pressing down onto the chair to help you lift. And we're going back and forth. Beautiful. And now from here, so staying up here, and now so coming up again into your swan position, and then from here, you're going to curl the pelvis under and just get that stretch through the back. That's it. And now from here, you're going to reach back with the pelvis again. And then curling under. So you're going to breathe in, a bit like a cat stretch. And then you're going to exhale to curl under just to get that nice flexion through the back. And then one more. And then we're going to reach back again into that full cat stretch. And now we're going to go into a bit of a ballerina, just get a nice side stretch through the side of the ribs. So pressing down with one arm and letting the other shoulder rise up. Just getting a nice stretch through that side and then back down to the middle. That's it. And then we're going to let this other shoulder rise up. We're going to bring the ball back. You'll feel it, the ball want to come back as your shoulder rises up. And then you're going to go back down to the middle. And we'll do that one again on that side. Just take a nice breath in, really fill up those ribs. And then exhale to come back, and then a nice big inhale. And then you're going back to the middle. Beautiful. Was there any other ones on here that you wanted to do?
That was everything.
Beautiful.
So good.
So good. All right, now we're gonna get on the floor. So I'll get you to hop off the chair. The ball. Where is the chair? All right, now get you to lie on your side, and we're going to do some side leg work. Now during your pregnancy, you get a little bit heavier, and so you really need to concentrate on getting your thighs or your hamstrings and your quads, and especially your glutes nice and strong. So we're going to go through a few exercises here just to get that whole group of muscles working. So we're just going to start off with some side kicks. So I'll just get you to, like Karolina's doing, just resting your head on your hand, and we're just going to reach this top leg, just gently reaching it long and up. Just up to just above halfway, just above parallel, sorry, and then lower. And then lift, and then lower. Beautiful. And as you're lifting and lowering, I want you to reach the leg long. So it's not just about seeing how high you can reach, it's just about lengthening. Beautiful. And while we're here, you want to make sure that your hips are stacked on top of each other so you're not rolling back. And that your shoulders are relatively stacked on top of each other as well. And you can use that front hand for support. And we'll just do one more. So you do maybe say 8 to 10. And now we're going to just lift the leg halfway. That's right. And then we're going to kick the leg forward and then draw the leg back. And we're going to try and do this with minimal upper body movement. It's going to move a little bit, but the idea is to try and get that leg moving by itself and using those muscles in the hip joint to do the work. That's it, reaching forward and then pointing back. Beautiful. So again, you do say 8 to 10 of these exercises, and now we're going to some circles.
Yep.
Yep. So we're just going to do small circles forward. So I do about 5 or 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
Happy with that. And then 5 or 6 going back. That's it. Make sure you really get that back motion. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So now from here we're going to continue on our side and we're going to go into clams. So I'll get Karolina to bend her knees and draw her feet in. Now this exercise, what we're doing is we're just going to keep the feet together as the knee lifts up and then the knee comes back down. So you're really going to try and engage the glute muscles to do this work. So you're opening and closing. And again, trying to keep the hips stacked on top of each other. Opening and closing. Beautiful. Can you feel that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes?
Yeah.
So you can also do this exercise if you have a TheraBand or one of those those thigh elastic bands, and just to increase the tension and just to increase the resistance. So these exercises are good to do while you're pregnant because you're not actually, your pelvis is supported at the same time. So you're not, the risk of any sort of shift with the pelvic bones, which is what can happen further on in the pregnancy when the relaxing starts to get a little bit more intense to get ready for delivery or birthing. Beautiful. Just one more. Just one more. Okay, now we're going to stay here. We're just going to work some arms while we're here as well. So I'll give Karolina the hand weight, and we're just going to do some internal and external rotation. So you just let the elbow rest up on the side. That's it. Now you're just going to lift the arm up. That's it, and then drawing it down. So this exercise, you should be feeling it sort of around the back of the arm and the triceps. So trying to keep everything nice and still. So it's just that arm rolling forward and rolling back. So we're not going to let the whole upper body roll back. It's just that arm within the shoulder socket moving. But you can feel that one too.
Definitely. That's good.
That's good. Beautiful. So most of these exercises I'll do 8 to 10. If you feel like you can do a few more, do a few more. If you feel like you can't do much more than say 5 or 6, by all means just stopping at 5 or 6 is very much a good workout. All right, swap sides.
Yeah.
But take your time. Take your time to get up. Yeah, have a drink of water next to you as well. Feel free to pause the video at any time. That's it. So we're just going to reach that long, making sure the hips are stacked. Karolina's arm.
Step ladder. Yeah. Is it in there or is it? I think it might be behind the door in the kitchen.
Beautiful. So it's important to keep moving when you're going through your pregnancy. Sometimes it feels a bit. There's so many issues that can crop up that might stop you from wanting to do any sort of moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some 10-15 minutes a day will make all the difference with your fitness, your birthing, your recovery after your birth as well.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now, have you got private calf chicken?
No.
So just
So bringing it forward, keeping the hips nice and stacked, coming forward, and really trying to use that glute to bring that leg back. Yes.
just tap.
And also while you're in this sideline position, if you feel like your tummy's a little bit heavy and it's not supported, like it's not touching the ground properly, you can always pop a towel underneath just to give it that extra little bit of support. Even sometimes just a tea towel or just a bath towel rolled up.
Second side's always worse than the
Second
first
side's
side.
always worse, yeah. Beautiful, and now back, fantastic.
We're going to decorate.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he coming for that?
Awesome.
No.
Oh,
It's
just
just
general, just all
Now
right.
we're going to go into the clams again, so bringing the feet in. That's it, and then we're just going to reach open with that knee and then closing it back down. That's it, so as you're reaching open, the front of the hip's opening. So we're just sort of also working on that internal, external rotation of the hip joint.
Yeah, and a common thing we see a lot is people trying to really make this a big shape and moving through their pelvis. So really, nothing else should be moving but the hip joint. So as you can tell, even on myself, it's not a huge lift of the knee, but it's enough that you can feel all those small little muscle fibers in around the glute working really hard.
Yeah, you might not feel it at the start, but after about 5,
Yeah, you know it's there.
you know it's there. It's woken up.
We've done plenty there
I
too.
think you've done plenty there too. Well done. All right, now we'll get the hand weight. That's it, and we'll just do a little bit of that arm work. So just some internal and external rotation. And that's it. So just again, making sure that it's not your upper body rotating back, that it's just the arm moving.
Face up to you. And just try it.
And this is the exercise. If you don't have a hand weight, you can use a water bottle, or you can use just a can of food from your cupboard. Is that 10?
Yeah.
Good.
Time flies when you're having
Good
fun.
job. Okay. Now I'm going to do some book openings. Now we're just going to get into some more stretching.
Have you a pillow or something?
Yes.
That'd be helpful. Sorry.
Your pillow. No, that's all good. Oh no, not this one.
Thank you.
So twist the two together.
Okay, so book openings are beautiful whether you're pregnant or not. You're just going to be reaching the arm up and then opening through the front of the chest. So really getting that upper body rotating, so getting that thoracic spine moving. So you're sitting in that same position as your clams, and your arms are just reaching long, and then you're lifting and then opening. And you want to follow your hand with your eyes, just to make sure your head and your neck are also getting the rotation.
And then you go as far as it feels comfortable. So pre-pregnant body and pregnant bodies are very different things. So you might be able to, the pre-pregnant body go all the way through the back, but I know at about here, starting to feel a little bit of a pull through the tummy. So I'll stop there and work back, because really this should be about opening thoracics or your upper back. You shouldn't be feeling any discomfort through your pelvis.
So that's all up there. So you've got.
How many did you want here, Linda?
I reckon maybe just one more. Beautiful. And we to the other side, yeah.
These feel so good.
Yeah, that is so good.
Again, this is another nice way to end the day.
That's it. Never be disappointed if your Pilates instructor offers up
Yeah,
book
book
opening.
openings. Yeah, no, it's a good one. That's it, just letting it go open. Beautiful. So you want to start off, just take an inhale here, and then as you're lifting up, and then you exhale as you open, and you use that exhale to help control the body. Inhale to start, and then exhale again to close it off. Do you find one side feels different?
Yeah, generally. Yeah, I think this one's got a little bit more stretch about it. And that's really common too.
What are you doing?
Cool.
Alright, now we're going to go into some quadruped. So we'll get rid of the pillow. Now we're going to go onto hands and knees.
So if you and rock.
Alright, so onto your hands and knees, and we want to, before we actually go into any quadruped movement, we'll do some breathing exercises to help get those tummy muscles nice and strong. So make sure your wrists are under your hands and your knees are under your hips. So you can have them a little bit wider than your hips if you need to. Yeah. Then also do some breathing exercises. So I want you to, so Karolina, can you just take a breath in? And then as you exhale, can you draw the baby up closer to you? So draw the tummy in as you exhale. And now inhaling again. And then exhale, draw the tummy up closer to you. Beautiful. Now you can breathe in, get a little bit of a cat stretch about this one, so let the head come forward as you breathe in. And then as you exhale, go into a little bit of flexion and draw the tummy in. Beautiful. And we'll just do one more like that. That's it. And then have that drawn in feeling as you exhale. Beautiful. So we're just going to go back into that neutral position and try to keep that connection happening there with the tummy so that nothing's hanging low, tummy's drawn in nice and close. Now we're going to take a breath in And as you breathe out, send one arm forward. That's it, and then drawing it back in. So we're just going to be challenging a bit of the upper body control. And just one more on each side like that.
Yeah, so then you should be able to twist them a bit easier when you do.
Beautiful. And now we're just going to send the legs back the same way. So we're just going to let one leg slide along the back and then just reaching, not too high, just reaching more about long. And then coming back in. And then doing that. Now, if Karolina's pelvic area is all nice and strong, if you find that you have any pain at all when you're sending your leg back, yeah, just stop with this exercise.
Or even if you just kept it lower like that.
Yeah, reaching back without lifting. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah. The aim here is to aim for length rather than height, and we want to really aim for that baby to back feeling, or that stability in your core over any sort of height in your legs or arms.
Yeah. That's it. All right. So shall we start? So okay. So if you feel as though you're strong enough, you can go into the quadruped exercise. So we're going to let the right arm go and the opposite leg reach behind, and then we're going to draw that in. Beautiful. So make sure you're doing this exercise on your exhale and drawing that tummy in nice and close, just to give that torso the strength that you need to support the rest of the body. Beautiful. How's that feel?
Yeah, really nice.
Oh, that's from, where's the two?
That's it. So just reaching from the shoulder with your arm.
Yeah, no worries. So then let's go through more muscle.
Always looks easier than it is.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of focus. Do well.
Easy peasy. Or get you
So
little
just maybe
wallets
one more on
there.
each side.
Because then all I do with my
You don't want to do too many of these, would you? Yeah, with maybe the wrists might get a little bit sore.
I have my little wallet there, so it's that little one.
Beautiful. All right, so now we're just going to go into a little bit of thoracic rotation. So just to get some pec stretches and just some more thoracic rotation through the back. So just put one hand behind your head. That's it. And now from here, you're just going to open up and reach that shoulder blade behind you, just to allow that chest to come forward and that thoracic spine to rotate back. And then we're going to come forward again, and then reach that elbow down toward the other wrist. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think next week.
And then again, just going to come up and over, and that's it. So we're going to send that breastbone forward if you can, and then we're going to come around and really wrap that shoulder blade to come down towards that wrist. That looks really nice.
So around 12 is okay for
Yep.
you?
Nice and strong.
Done.
Cool.
We'll see you at 12 next Wednesday.
Awesome. Thanks, Karolina. Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank you.
day. See you.
Beautiful. So again, yeah, with a lot of the stretching exercises, we wouldn't do too many. You do say maybe 4 or 5.
These ones are pretty strong anyway, so once
Yeah.
you've done a few, I feel like everything's quite okay.
Yeah. Beautiful. Now we'll try this other side. So again, draw that shoulder blade back so the chest come forward, and then wrapping it around. Beautiful. You're doing a wonderful job.
Thanks, Linda.
That'll be fine.
I realise I've been doing a lot of this stuff through my pregnancy.
Yes.
So it's
I can
a
tell
lot.
you've been doing a lot of stuff there. I can see you're doing really well.
Hi, Ben. We're just doing a little, you know, it's a boy.
Fantastic. Beautiful. And so now, just to get another stretch through the front, we can do a pec stretch here with the ball. So I'll get you to face that way.
Yeah.
All right, so you're on one hand, that's it, and one arm is on the thick ball. And now you're going to bend your left hand as you reach this arm long and then dipping into that shoulder so that you get that nice pec stretch. Beautiful. Then you come back. See, and then you're reaching that top arm long, bringing right into that pec. Beautiful. Is that feeling okay?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, you can do your pec stretches by leaning your arm against a wall or a door frame and letting your elbow and your wrist just be in line with each other, and just again, same thing, leaning forward through that shoulder joint. But this is a nice way to do it too, especially with the preggy belly.
Definitely. And again, just trying to create as much room through the chest.
And then what we'll
Just
do is
getting
we'll
ready
put
for
up in that
those
room
first few
again.
feeds.
We'll just,
Yes.
hook these. Alright, you might have to assist here.
Beautiful, fantastic, you're doing awesome. All right, so now we're going to move the fit ball over to the wall and we're going to do some squats. So we'll take that over there. So you want to place the fit ball against the wall, and now you want to. Do you want to stand?
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah. So you want to place it a bit lower than what you think. So don't put it in the middle of your back. Put it a little bit lower so it's almost just at the top of your pelvis.
Yeah.
Yep. And now you're going to have your legs forward a little bit. That's it. And you're going to, we'll just start off with your arms forward.
Yeah.
That's it. And now you're just going to squat. So we're going to send your knees over toes, squatting down, and then pressing against the ball to come back up.
A little bit
So you're squatting
so
down.
you're gonna sit.
That's it. So you're allowing your body to go contour around the ball.
So just
Again, harder than it looks.
Beautiful. And this is also where you can add some hand weights if you want, and you can add some bicep curls. And you can also start off with your hands down by your side, and then as you squat, you can let the arms come up,
you'll be fine.
and then
Have faith.
that's beautiful.
So
So just to get some mobility through the arms.
we don't need to put any more balloons around, or should we put
You get the blood pumping. I'll show you blood's pumping
Definitely.
right now.
a little bit further back?
Feels
Back
really
towards
nice
the
though.
ball.
It feels warm awake.
Yes. So just make sure you've got the knees over toes,
Yeah, and just
that
put
you're
the
allowing
leg
your
on top.
pelvis to sort of contour around the back of the ball. Yeah, and just that you don't start with the ball too high. You don't want the ball up around your head. Beautiful. So just do one more. Yeah, one more. One more. Good
Yeah.
job. Good job. Take that one down. Beautiful. All right, so now we'll just finish with some more stretches and rolls.
Perfect.
So you can sit on this
Perfect,
side.
yeah.
So we'll just do some wrist rolls, especially now after doing all those quadruped and the upper,
And you'll
that weight bearing through the
the
shoulders
other
and the
end
wrist
of
that we
the-
did. So just
Yeah, that's it.
rotate, spinning the hands around. Beautiful, and the other way. You were doing twinkle twinkle little stars.
Yeah, funny. They're
Spirit
actually really
fingers,
good
yeah,
though.
no,
Spirit
fingers,
fingers. All
yes.
jokes aside.
Good segue.
Have you got time to just?
Yeah.
Spirit fingers are good for mums too.
Yeah, so this is just really good to get the blood pumping. Really good for any sort of carpal tunnel pressure that you're feeling, just to get the muscles moving
Yeah,
and the
just
joints
to move
moving.
fluid around.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's a really, really good one. All right, so now we're just also going to do the glute stretch
Yep.
on the fit ball. So we're just going to, it's also called like a four stretch or
Figure
a
eight. Yeah,
or a
figure-
pretzel
yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
Yeah, so just lifting that ankle on top of the knee,
Yeah.
and you should pretty much feel that glute stretching. And if you need a bit more of a stretch, you can lean forward,
Yeah.
let the chest come forward a little
Yeah,
bit.
so you can do this against a wall. It's probably better to do this against a wall or something just because it does get a little bit funny. Or even on a chair is good. So, and any good stretch you should hold for at least 15 seconds. Okay, you feel this one, especially in your third trimester. Glutes and pelvis are working really hard at this point, keeping
Yeah.
everything stable.
Start, yeah, and then the other side.
Try not to fall over on film, that'd be hilarious.
Beautiful. And now, we'll stretch through the front of the legs.
Yeah.
So I'll get you to come onto the side of the ball. So we're just using the ball for support
Yeah.
really here. So,
Yep.
so on your knees, that's
Yeah.
it, yeah. So just going to reach one leg forward. That's it. So you're leaning into the side to get through that sort of adductor inner thigh stretch, which I reckon you're loving.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good. And really good, especially third trimester. It's just all building for delivery day. So we're just creating as much space through the pelvis. You're only going to be able to thank yourself in the end.
That's it.
The other side too, because this is
Side.
good. And you should feel it's just like a deep glute, deep hip flexor stretch. And again, if anything's causing discomfort, just try and back off or just go to where it feels like a comfortable stretch.
Yeah, if anything feels a little bit,
Yeah.
a bit unsure or
Yeah.
if something's not quite right, yeah.
Back
Just,
away, yeah.
just avoid that one. Yeah. Plenty of other ones you can do. We've covered a few.
Yeah, we
Covered a
definitely
few
have.
exercises in this one today.
Definitely. Yeah, so like anything, just if anything doesn't feel right in your body, just stop, take a breath. It might not be a good day for it. Any of the stretches, a pregnant body is a stretchy body, so we just don't want to overdo it, but it should feel like a good sort of relief. And when in doubt, reach out to Linda or myself. We can always help you out with all your pregnancy needs.
Yeah, so keep watching because there'll be
More, hopefully.
postnatal videos coming up and
Lots of
recovery
work.
exercises
Yeah.
and lots of exercises. All right, thanks so much for watching.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.